This conference will now be recorded.
यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तामहदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मोक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वांशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादीनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तनिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने We shall do the Mangalacharana as composed by the author Sri Vidyaranya Swami. The Mangalacharana which belongs to the present text Jivanmukti Viveka. Yasya nishvasitam veda yo vedebhyokhidam jagat nirmametamaham vande vidyatirthamaheshwaram together. Yasya nishvasitam veda yo vedebhyokhidam jagat nirmametamaham vande vidyatirthamaheshwaram. I bow down to the Supreme Lord, Maheshwara, Maha plus Ishvara. Maha means the great supreme and Ishvara means the omnipotent, the one who has the samarthyam, Ishana samarthyam, the one who has got the power to control is Ishvara. That is Aishwaryavam, Ishvara. Who is he? Vidyatirtha. I recognize, I bow down to this Lord who presently comes to me as Vidyatirtha, which happens to be the name of Sri Vidyaranya Swami's Grand Guru, Vidyatirtha Maheshwara. But anyway, Yasya Nishvasitam Veda, his whose breath is the Veda, and he who has brought this world into existence, created this world through the Veda. To that Lord I bow down. So thus we find the Mangalacharana is done. Remembering Paramatma is Mangalam. or anything that is associated with Paramatma is auspicious. And over here, it is through the speech and also through the mind. And Vandanam, it could be a physical act of just clasping the hands to the heart. It could be as simple as that, or it can be an elaborate worship also. So we find Vandanam, the action is of all the three, in all the three categories: the bodily action, the action of the speech, and the action of the mind. Now, few suggestions or the meaning that is conveyed through this particular verse is Yasya Nishvasitam Veda. His whose breath is the Veda. Now, this is a very interesting thing. We all know that Veda is the collection of words, Shabda. But when we say collection of the words, it does not mean a dictionary because every sentence is also a collection of the words. When it becomes a collection of the words, and those words are interconnected coherently to convey a meaning, then that collection of the words is called as a sentence. The grammarians, Vyakarnas, they say, what is Vakyam? Tingsvantam Vakyam. Suptigantam Vakyam. Suptigantam Vakyam, which means a sentence is that which consists of nouns and verbs, which should have at least a noun and a verb. So then that becomes a sentence. Suptigantam Vakyam. Veda is such where we can consider it to be not only just collection of words, but several sentences. Every sentence over there is qualified now to be called as Veda. Every mantra is Veda. What happens to this particular sentence? A sentence should be collection of words to convey a meaning. Not only that it is conveying a meaning, but it means it is a vakyam that should have some more properties. And it is what is Veda? Pramana Vakyam Veda. The first thing to be noticed is that this Vakyam acts as a means to generate knowledge. What can be called as knowledge? So, something which was not known before and becomes known now. If it was known before, it is already known to you, and then a sentence is employed, then it becomes a reminder. It becomes something not to generate knowledge, but to invoke the memory. And therefore, for it to be a pramanam, it should be something that generates knowledge that what was not known before. So what is it that the Veda makes you know Dharma and Brahma? There are two things for which the Vedavakyam, this sentence, becomes a means of knowledge. One is dharma. Dharma is that system through which a person can achieve his internal, external prosperity, prosperity in this life, prosperity in life hereafter, hmm, prosperity of the individual, and along with that, the prosperity of the society. So, dharma is that system through which there is abhyudaya. Abhyudaya means the overall growth, overall prosperity. Abhi means paritaha. So every aspect of prosperity is considered over there. It brings under its umbrella every aspect. So thus the world prospers, the person grows, the world benefits. Do you have a system like this? And can a human being develop a system like this? Because the world already has got its own niyamas. It follows its own laws. Everything is following its rules. When the heat is applied to the water, it will evaporate, it will boil, it will turn into vapor and eventually evaporate. So there is a niyama, there is a law by which the fire and water are bound. Applying fire, the water is not going to become cold or freeze. So there is a niyama. So the whole world follows certain, it runs by the rules. So human life also has got certain rules. If you expect certain prosperity in your life, internal, external, this kind of prosperity, because a person may become very rich, but internally the person remains immature, dissatisfied, uncomposed, and therefore it is not an overall growth. It is, you can say, it is a loss. Therefore, how can a person grow? And these are because the world already exists with its rules. So these rules, how do you know that following these rules you will be able to prosper, you will be able to grow? So dharma is that system. And this dharma becomes known to you, means of knowledge for dharma. You know this is dharma. And also becomes the means of knowledge to know what is Brahma. And by knowing Brahma, what happens? One attains the ultimate good, which is Nishreyasam, moksha. So dharma helps a person to attain the first three purusharthas, whether it is this loka or the paraloka, whether it is the prosperity or the pleasures and joys of life. Everything is given, delivered to you by dharma. And the fourth Purushartha, which is the Moksha Purushartha, is also shown to you by a different section of the Veda, which is called as Upanishad. So the Purva section, the Karma Kanda, shows you what is Dharma, and the Jnana Kanda, the later portion, the section of knowledge shows you what is Brahma. So thus this is the body of Veda. Yasya Nishvasitam Vedaha, and therefore this is not something like a religion which is a system created by a person or by a group of people, because no matter how much a person is intelligent, yet that system will become redundant after some time because of its inherent defects. But that which is a natural system does not become redundant. You are able to see through the eyes, hear through the ears. It is a natural system. The knowledge of colors and forms is gained through the eyes. The knowledge of sounds is gained through the ears. And this is a system. And it is a natural system. It is not developed by any individual, any person. It is a natural system. So this system, even the system through which a person will be able to achieve prosperity and moksha, every pursuit of human life can be fulfilled because the pursuit already exists in you. The pursuit for security, the pursuit for pleasures, and the pursuit for liberation is already existing in you. Nobody creates this. It is already there. And therefore, since it is there naturally, it is something like hunger and thirst. It is not created by any human being. It is not created by any prophet or any teacher or any revolutionary or a social reformer. Hunger and thirst naturally exist. So also these pursuits, they already exist. I want security, I want pleasures, and then a person somewhere even recognizes that I want liberation, which means Atyantika Nivritti of Dukkham, total abnegation of suffering. I want it is wanted, and if it is the need, and when it is natural, then that that need to fulfill that need is also in the scheme of the nature. Has to be there, but how will you be able to know, put things together, the means and the ends? By doing this can be gained. How would you know? By doing this, it will lead me to inner maturity, external prosperity. By knowing this, liberation can be attained. How would you ever know this? And therefore, there is a need also for the means of knowledge. And this means of knowledge is what we call as Veda. Okay, now is this, you can even say that since this is not created, maybe it is not created by a person. According to you, then let us say that it is created by God. It is created by God, and here we say no. Yasya Nishvasitam. Even Paramatma also has not created. It is Nishvasitam. Nishvasitam means breath. As breathing is effortless, You don't say that, I am doing blood circulation, I am doing diet, my heart beats. No, you do not take any credit to your doership for the heartbeats, for the digestion, for the blood circulation. Why? Because it is happening effortlessly without any will, without any will.
एक सेकेंड.
So also respiration is something that happens without the will.
हेलो.
How is this
एक सेकेंड.
Veda? Nishvasitam, it is natural. It is swabhavika abhivyakti, a natural expression. Yasya nishvasitam Vedaha, yo vedebhyo khilam jagat. And how is this world? Then this world is bound by those rules. What are those rules? In this will happen by taking this. This will be the consequence. So cause and effect. The world is bound by cause and effect. Everything over here is bound by cause and effect. If you drink water, thirst will be quenched. If you eat food, your hunger will be satiated. So there is a cause and effect by which the world is held together. And if this cause and effect is not taken into consideration, then you will not be able to conduct yourself in life. None of your pursuits will ever be, you can follow them. And therefore, when you say means and the end, it is bound by cause and effect. This is the cause and effect relationship. So this cause and effect relationship is what we are going to say is dharma, by which the world is bound. And therefore, yo vedebhyo khilam jagat. This Parmeshwara then has constructed this world, created this world with these rules, and they are, that is Veda, through the Veda. Vedebhyaha akhilam jagat nirmame, the one who has created this jagat. Jagat means this world. Akhilam jagat. And therefore you cannot say dharma means which is limited to a particular community, only to the believers. It will not be applicable to non-believers. Everyone will come under this. All that a person just needs to have is the knowledge of of the means and the ends, the cause and the effect. But you will be able to conduct your life most fruitfully only if you know that. And in order to means so to this Parameshwara, I bow down. I offer my salutations. Now, this is the Mangalacharanam. Now, he says there is a very interesting commentary on Jivanmukti Viveka by Achyutray Modak in Sanskrit. I'm going to bring you the portions of it because to go through the entire commentary in a short period is almost not going to be possible. So wherever I will just give you the purport, the substance, or sometimes I may even bring it to you the portions. Tatra Shishtachara Anumita Prayojanakam Smriti Moolam, Shruti Moola Shruti Bodhita Kartavyatakam, Nirvigna Grantha Parisamapti Tatpratipalakam, Shri Guruvabhinneshwara Pramanatmakam Mangalam Swayam Vidhaya, Shishabodhaya Nekartha Garbitena, Swakiya Mudra Bhutena, Prakrita Prakrana Vishaya Suchakena, Shlokena Adav Nipadnati. Now he says that this Mangalacharan is something that we can infer as being told to us, given this particular thing. How did you know that by doing Mangalam, the unseen obstacles in the future, which may abort all your efforts of accomplishing the task that you have undertaken, those obstacles will be removed by Mangalacharanam. How do you know? So we say this knowledge is inferred from the Smriti Grantha, which follows the Shruti. Okay, so there is a Smriti directly available, but that portion of the Veda can be inferred. And so, Nirvigna Grantha Samapti, that may we be able to complete the study of this particular text without obstacles. Actually, it is not going to be without obstacles, but whatever obstacles may arrive, those obstacles will be surmounted, will be overcome. Okay, that is how. So it gives the balam, and whatever obstacles can be removed will be obliterated, will be removed. But whatever are the other obstacles, then this Mangalam will be able to create that kind of a strength in the seeker by which the student will be able to overcome the obstacles. So this obstacle will not prevent him from completing the task. What is the task over here? Grantha Samapti, to lead ourselves to the completion of the study of this text. So Grantha Samapti is the task, and it will be accomplished by what? Through this, because of Mangalam, by doing this Mangalacharanam. Okay. So over here, he says the Mangalam that the author has done, how is it? The author sees the teacher and Ishvara as one, because that Maheshwara is the one who has created this world, and he says that Vidyatirtha Maheshwaram Aham Vande. So Vidyatirtha is the name of his Guru. So Guru and Ishvara is seen as one. So, at the end of the class, we are always ended by saying, Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinam Murtaye Namaha. Over there it is said, this Atma, Ishvara and Guru is one. Is one. Why do you have to say is one? Because apparently it appears to be different. Three different entities. This is me, the Jiva. This is Guru, who has realized is liberated. And there is Ishvara. So it appears that this one consciousness is that consciousness, if there are three consciousnesses, but what do we say? That is one existence, one consciousness expresses as Ishvara, Guru, and the Self. Okay, so Guru Abhinna, Gurvabhinna Ishvara Pramanakam, Pramanatmakam Mangalam. How is this Mangala? Wherein the author sees that Ishvara and Guru is one. Okay, you could have done it just in your mind, meditated on the lotus feet of your teacher. Why did you have to write it or speak about it? So even if you would have meditated in your mind, it would be Mangala. Even if you would have just chanted it to yourself, it will be Mangala. But why are you saying it so loudly that you have written it down as the beginning of the text, as the inaugural shloka? And over here, therefore we say that Swayam Vidhaya, that having followed it himself, okay, you have done it. Then what more? Shishya Bodhaya, in order so that the disciple also knows that Mangalam has to be done. So the Shishya also knows, the disciple, the student also knows, and that is how the teacher shows it. Shlokena Adau Nipadnanti. Okay. So, seeing the teacher and Ishvara as one, how do you do that? So he says that there is Shvetashvatara Upanishad, wherein the mantra says, Yasya deve para bhakti, yatha deve tatha guru, tasyete kathita yatha prakashante mahatmana. He says that the Upanishad says that he who has parabhakti, the devotion of the highest order towards Ishvara, just as he has for Ishvara, so also for Guru. So now is your loyalty divided? That like Ishvara, you have devotion for the Guru? He says no. Seeing Ishvara only as Guru. So yatha deve tatha guru tasyete kathita yartha. And it is only for such a person only that these mantras will reveal their meaning to such a great soul. So who is a great soul? He who has got devotion of highest order for Ishvara and for Guru. To such a person, he is a Mahatma. To that Mahatma, these mantras will reveal their meaning. Now, Achyuta and Modak also gives you a very interesting thing about deciphering the meaning of Vidyatirtha. Now, obviously, Vidyatirtha is the name of Vidyaranya's grand guru. But he says Vidya means that knowledge through which moksha is attained. Ya Vidya sa vimuktaye. That is that by which mukti is attained, moksha is attained. That alone we call as knowledge. Then what is other else? I mean, what else is other things? Then obviously, if it is not knowledge, then what is it? It is ignorance. And therefore, all the other branches, we are also called as knowledge in our empirical world. But since they do not deliver moksha, It may help you, but it is not Vidya. So now he says that what is the name of the teacher is Vidya Tirtha. What is that? He gives you one Medini Koshoktehe Vidyayaiha. Now there is one Medini Kosha, and over there we find in this particular thesaurus what is called as Tirtha. What is the called as Tirtha? Tirtham Shastradhvara Kshetropaya Narirajasucha Avatararshi Jushtambu Patropadhyaya Mantrishu. We find that all these things which are mentioned over here are called as Tirtha. What all things? Shastram. The Veda is also called as Tirtha. Advara, the Marga, the path is also called as Tirtha. Generally, what we call as Tirtha is a place of pilgrimage, a shrine is called as Tirtha. But according to the Medini Kosha, all these things are also called as Tirtha. Shastra, Advara, Kshetra. Now, when you say Kshetra, a particular shrine, a particular place like Kashi, that is Tirtha. Upaya, the remedy is Upaya. A sadhanam, the means, is also called as Tirtha. Avatar, avatar is incarnation. Rishi, a sage. Then Upadhyaya, Ambu. Ambu means something like the Ganga, Yamuna. These waters are also called as Tirtha. Then Upadhyaya, the teacher, and Mantri. Mantri is an advisor, or Mantri also will mean somebody who is an adept with the Mantra Shastra. Such the word Tirtha is applicable to all these people, all these things. So now he says the name of the teacher is Vidya Tirtha. What does that mean? It means the one for whom that knowledge is Tirtha. Vidya eva Tirtha. Then what all things comes under the word Tirtha? He says Shastra. So that knowledge is the holy scriptures, that knowledge itself is the path, the knowledge is the shrine, the knowledge itself is the upaya, the means, knowledge itself is avatar, incarnation, knowledge itself is the sage, knowledge itself is the holy waters like Ganga Yamuna, knowledge itself is the teacher, so on and so forth. This and therefore, to such a person or that teacher whose name is Vidya Tirtha and who personifies, who is the personification of knowledge, which is Tirtha. So thus, all these things now are brought under this one verse. So to once again bring it all together. Yasya Nishvasitam Veda, that Paramatma to Paramatma, I bow down. Who is this Paramatma? The one who is the very cause of this world. Oh, but how has he brought this world into existence? Through Veda. Then he must have created the Veda. He says no. The one for whom the Veda is as effortless, as natural as the breath. So Yes, Nishwasitam Veda, to that Paramatma, what do you call him? Vidyatirtham. To this teacher who is incarnation of Ishvara in front of me, best who has bestowed on me the knowledge and liberation. To this Ishvara, to my teacher, I bow down. This is the first verse of Mangalam. Now we turn to the second verse. And in this second verse, now he indicates the subject matter that we are going to deal with. Because every book that you want to study, the four things should be very clear. These four things, which are responsible for any serious studies, for anybody even to undertake the serious study of that particular work, there are four things. These four things are called as Anubandha Chatushtaya. They are the hetu, they are the cause for the studies. What are those? So first of all, it should be spelled out as what is being discussed over here. What is the subject matter? The subject matter. Then it is said, what is the purpose of that studies? Prayojanam. Then, well, this is the topic, and by studying this topic, this particular purpose can be fulfilled, but that would also require a qualified person, to study, as well as a person should be qualified for in whom that purpose will be fulfilled, right? So the qualified person over here is called as adhikari. So qualifications is sambandha, the interrelation of all these factors. When these things are clear to you, now you would pick up and pursue the studies. So when these things are clear, Vishaya, Prayojana, Adhikari and Sambandha, when these are clear, then your studies will become meaningful. Here it goes. So this particular verse is able to show us that. Look at this, number 2. Kindly repeat the verse, and then when we chant it second time, we will all chant it together. वक्षे विविदिशान्यासम्
वक्षे विदिशान्यासम्
विद्वन्यासं च वेदतः
विद्वन्यासम् च वेदतः
हेतुविदेहमुक्तेश्च
हेतुविदेहमुक्तेश्च
जीवन्मुक्तेश्च तौ क्रमात्
जीवन्मुक्तेश्च गौरवात्
वक्ष्ये विविदिशान्यासम् विद्वन्यासं च वेदतः हेतुविदेहमुक्तेश्च जीवन्मुक्तेश्च तौ क्रमात्. Okay. Vakshe, aham vakshe. I shall speak, I shall explain, I shall expound. Aham vakshe, I will speak. What, sir? What will, so now I will speak means he is making clear as what is the subject matter of this discussion. So the first topic of the Anubandha Chatushtaya, what is it? Vishaya, subject matter. Vakshe vividishanyasam vidvanyasam cha bhedataha. Nyasam over here means sannyasam. Aham sannyasam vakshe. Meant by sannyasa. Now, though the teacher himself will make everything clear, because it's quite an exhaustive word by itself. But please understand that sannyasa is also seen as one of the ashramas. Okay, ashrama does not mean a hermitage or a place or an institution or an organization. It means a station in life. In life, we have different phases that we pass through. And every phase of our life has got two aspects. One, as the age, and the other is what can be done and what should be done in that phase of life. Okay? Ashrama. The word ashrama is also very interesting. Shrama means effort. Shrama also means relentless effort, tireless effort. Or it could also mean even tiring effort, which means where a person is able to put his efforts to its farthest end. When you have exhausted all your efforts, there at that point you say, I am tired. Shramitaha aham, that I am tired. Shrama, where a person sincerely, honestly, intelligently puts all his effort, then only it is Shrama. If a person wants to steal away from putting in efforts, if there is that kind of dishonesty, then it is not going to be Shrama. He has put in an effort is at different levels. Your bodily effort, your emotional effort, your intelligence, use these resources to the fullest extent. Why should we? We should be able to save it. By saving it, you are not going to save it. You cannot save it. If you try not to put it to the fullest use, now it will be already gone. It will be gone. And therefore, to put it to the fullest use, ashrama, asamanta, shramaha. That effort is from all the sides, all possible. You're putting it. Then comes success or failure is a different thing. But a person will never feel will leave the world with regret that I should have done that. I did not do it. Oh well, I have done whatever was within my limits. I have given myself completely to it. He will not live with regret. A person will shrug. So sannyasa is also considered to be an ashrama. So, what are the ashramas? The first ashrama is considered to be the brahmacharya ashrama, in which a person gives no importance to other things of of making girlfriends, boyfriends, or anything, because that is a phase to study, and therefore, without dividing his attention, energy, he stays focused on studies, gathering knowledge. Now, when that person has that, he has completed the phase of studenthood. That is called as brahmacharya ashram. Then a person enters into the life of grihastha, a householder, gets married, and then along with the woman that he is married to, both of them together during the marriage, both of them commit themselves. Let us walk into the life together. Let us go ahead and do live a righteous life, bring up children, do all our efforts, live a life of dharma. Together we walk, go through all vicissitudes, good and bad, success and failure. Let's taste the life, sweet and bitter, together. Grihastha. Then they bring up the children, make them eligible, give them values to live, and then when they have thus put in all efforts as a grihastha, now they say, well, now we have brought up our children, we have lived to the best of our ability. Now comes our phase where we can withdraw a little bit. We can silently watch the children grow and take off and pay attention to our inner development. And therefore comes Vanaprasthashram. And then finally is the sannyasa ashram. In the sannyasa ashram, only the pursuit of liberation is the final pursuit. There is no other divided attention, emotions, anywhere. And for this pursuit is the sannyasa ashram. There is no person. And therefore there is sannyasa ashram. Now the teacher over here, Vidyaranya Swami says, Vakshe Vividishanyasam. The sannyasa is also, he says, of basically two kinds. That is being explained over here. One is the renunciation meant for the pursuit of knowledge, and another one is Vidvat sannyasa, renunciation, which comes after gaining knowledge. Which knowledge are we talking about? Brahmajnanam. Okay, this is the knowledge that we are talking. We are not talking about any other thing. Over here, it means Brahmajnanam. Knowing Brahma is Atma. Atma is Brahman. Vakshe Vividisha Nyasam. The word Vividisha comes like this, the etymology Veditu Michha Vividisha. The desire to know. What do you desire to know? I desire to know Atma is Brahman. I have heard, but I still do not know. I want to know. And therefore, that is called as Vividisha. I want to know, I want to experience. So, this desire is called as Vividisha. So, sannyasa, which is prompted by this desire to know, is called as Vividishanyasa, Vividisha sannyasa. And then the other one is Vidvat sannyasa, sannyasa which follows realization, which follows the knowledge. So he says, I will explain both these sannyasa, types of sannyasa, bhedata, with their difference. What? Because after all, both of them are sannyasis. Then what is what makes one sannyasi as Vividisha sannyasi and the other one as Vidvat sannyasi? So there has to be something which marks the difference. What is that? Vakshe, I will speak. I am going to speak. Hetu, this hetu is dual case. Dvivachana. Hetu videha muktescha. Now both of them are the causes. Cause for what? So he says, one is the cause for videha mukti, liberation after passing away from this world. So that is liberation because he is not going to come back into the trap of samsara. He is not going to fall a prey to the samsara ever again, and therefore that is liberation. He will not be subjected to birth and death again. Between birth and death, it is just a sequence of dukkham followed by dukkham. The only difference is less or more. That's it. That's why Bhagavan Patanjali says over there, Dukkhameva hi sarvam vivekina. The only difference is that it is less or more. Dukkham after dukkham. And what you call as sukham is just less dukkham. That's it. Now, what a pathetic life is this, that where we want sukham, but we don't even know what true sukham is, because we are calling less dukkham as sukham. That's it. So this is truly very pathetic. So, hetu videha muktescha. What is the purpose of Vividisha sannyasa? Videha mukti. And of the Vidvat sannyasa is Jivanmukti, liberation whilst living. Liberation whilst living. One who has escaped suffering altogether, even as he is seen by others as an individual in the body, living. So that's why it is called as Jivan Mukti. Jivan Muktescha, Tau Kramat. Those two sannyas are sequentially the cause of Videha Mukti and Jivan Mukti. So through Vividisha sannyasa, one attains Videha Mukti. And through Vidvat sannyasa, one attains Jivanmukti. These two are our subject matters of the discussion over here in this chapter. Again, in fact, through the book Vidvat Sannyasam, in the sense, Jivan Mukti is going to be discussed. Now, we are going to read this shloka number third. And he says, but why should one take to sannyas? Or how does sannyas even arrives in a life of a person? Is it something that sannyas is taken by those people who have some sort of complex, who have some sort of complex that they are afraid of the society, they are afraid of their own shortcomings, and that's why the easy way is to live a life of a recluse, a different life, not to participate in the normal civilian life. Or is it that those who want to escape the responsibilities of life should take to sannyasa? So is it some sort of a provision meant? Is it an escapist route of life? Is there something like that? Now we have already told to you that the purpose of sannyasa is Videha Mukti or Jivan Mukti. Therefore, do not say that, people who want free meals and free food and lodging and boarding should take to sannyasa. No. If this is the idea, or maybe because people worship them and they are respected, and that's why sannyas people, so it brings you, respect of all the people, puja, man, sanmana, etc. For that reason, no. The very purpose of sannyasa is, then, sir, how does this phase come? Does it come only by our aging? Or is there something more to this sannyasa? And let us see this in verse number 3, which we will read now and look into its meaning when we meet tomorrow again. Let us read the verse number 3. Sannyasa hetur vairagyam
Sannyasa
yadahar virachetada pravrajediti vedokte tadbhedastu puranagaha. So we will see what it is when we meet tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Badarayana Suprabhashakata Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomabhadyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Thank you.